Gemini Home Entertainment has to be one of the most confusing yet unsettling VHS cosmic horror tapes I think I've ever seen on YouTube. The videos themselves mimic educational tapes, PSAs, and nature documentaries, as well as instructional videos from the 80s and 90s. Within these tapes, we are told that the world is plagued by mysterious supernatural forces that warp reality, but we don't realize that until later on in the series. It's hinted at, but we're not really given a definitive answer. Throughout the series, we're introduced to this thing called the Iris. It's a cosmic entity that supposedly started everything that happened on Earth, spreading its influence through parasitic means. But what's weird is this is out in space. At least we're led to believe that's the case. Some of the videos in Gemini Home Entertainment takes place within the heads of people, mainly in their dream state, a technology that was created to basically visualize what dreams were. But with that, supposedly the Iris managed to get a hold of it and started infecting it through the minds of people, causing them to get infected that way instead of the beings that exist on Earth that would just get them like skinwalker-wise, invading their body and taking them over in the form of this, and then just deteriorating their entire body until they become one with the substance. And supposedly a lot of what happened towards the end of Gemini Home Entertainment happened because of this bear that got infected. It takes place in the woods near some cabins. Some guys notice that there's a bear there. They go out, they try to shoot it. It doesn't work. They get infected and everything just goes downhill from there. Supposedly some dude named George made a deal with these things like way before all of what happened. And because of him shooting the bear, he broke the contract that they had made together. And these things right here that exist are still somewhat human. They're just taken over by the parasite and it still exists. If I sound confusing, that's because I am. Because you, even after watching this, you still don't understand it. Basically, to try to sum this up so you understand it, which I still recommend you go and watch it for yourself to actually get it, it becomes clear that Earth is invaded by an eldritch parasite. This happens way earlier on because either the Iris or a planet in our solar system gets infected, changes, and shoots something to Earth. This is from one of the journals of one of the characters towards the beginning of the series that documents everything. From that, he's greeted by 4 beings that are not human, each of them being parasites. So basically aliens in a sense. They make a deal of some sort, and from that, the parasitic tree exists and grows. What deal they made, no one truly knows. But then they go and try to off a bear for some reason because it got infected, but they don't realize that, and that breaks the contract. From that, these creatures then decide to turn humans and nature into grotesque, otherworldly entities trying to take over the world. And that all comes from the influence of the Iris, which no one really truly understands what its purpose is. All we know is that it influences the creatures and humans on Earth. It exists outside human perception, influencing things in ways people can't fully comprehend, and infects humans and animals, turning them into grotesque, unnatural creatures. Now, we don't know for sure, but we're led to believe that it's already taken over the Earth, and the videos are just remnants of what was a already doomed world. Now, the wood crawlers are basically these things that infect your body. Once human, now elongated, mindless husks wandering the forest. Some retain memories but have lost their humanity. They're eerily intelligent, and certain videos imply that they think like humans. Mind you, they've built nests like way underneath the earth, and there are thousands, if not millions, of them running around. Now, there is this thing known as the bloodworm. Basically, these are the Iris's primary means of infection. They burrow in the host body, consuming and replacing their flesh. It is fully infected, a person will no longer remain human. They become something else entirely. With that, there's also something wrong with the waterways it's been infected to, which probably explains how the bear was able to get infected, which led to everything kind of just growing from there. That's really just up to speculation because nothing really confirms that, but we're led to believe that the water is also not safe. And another side story within Gemini, aside from what's happening on Earth, is that all the planets in the solar system are also infected. Planets are disappearing and the sun is sick. Basically, the Iris is a solar system galaxy level threat that is taking over everything. And we just happen to be one of the firsts, at least we think. Now, the bigger picture of Gemini Home Entertainment is actually kind of terrifying. The survivalist PSAs that we see basically imply that the US Army, or the army of the world, or what's left of it, is barely holding on. People in general are just vanishing altogether. Videos include that there's an emergency warning of people just vanishing out of nowhere. And the home invasions that are happening are from people who are not human. But one thing is for certain, that it's made clear that humanity has lost and that the Iris cannot be stopped. Meaning these things are going to take over the world just like they did the rest of the universe, or at least the galaxy. There is no stopping the Iris. Overall, I think y'all should watch it. It's pretty interesting. A bit confusing, like I said, but definitely worth the watch nonetheless. If you like cosmic horror, then this is definitely for you.